Hi, good evening, children. Today, in our fifth class, we shall discuss the first chapter, measurements. Okay, so what is measurement? We will discuss one by one. That is, history of measurement. The early recorded system of weights and measures originate in 3rd or 4th century of BC. Around 3rd century or 4th century BC. From that time, this particular measurement history has been started. And next one, units of length. In that, the first one we are going to measure is, in the measurement, unit of length. Before the establishment of decimal metric system was first established in France during the French Revolution. When it was established? During the French Revolution time. In your social you have studied about French Revolution, years, everything. Okay, many units of length were based on the parts of human body. So at that time they used to use human body lengths first of all. I mean hands, legs, height, so shoulders, like that. So that is what they were called as Nippur cubit, was one of the oldest known units of length. So which is the one of the old unit of length? That is Nippur cubit. What is the value for that? It is around 51.85 centimeters. What is the value? 51.85 centimeters long unit was the origin of Roman foot. So with the Roman foot, the foot origin, its length, that foot length was 51.85 centimeters long at that time. Okay, cubit, they have used Nippur cubit. Cubit means from here, from the folded hand, from here to here, from elbow to the tip, from elbow to the tip, I mean middle finger, up to that length we call it as cubit. Actually, that cubit length will be differ from one person to other person. Next one is unit of mass. The grain of wheat is used as unit of mass. Wheat grain. Wheat is there, na? So wheat grain was used, atta, chapati powder. Okay. So that was called as wheat. Wheat grain was used as unit of mass in the earlier days. This wheat grain is used when the precious metals were silver and these were used. They were used in used as precious metal. I mean, in order to weigh the precious metal like gold and silver, diamond, etc., they used to use what is known as wheat grain. Okay, so as in order to measure that. The larger unit units were preserved in stone. Where the larger units were preserved? They were preserved in stone. In order to measure the huge units, they used to use stone. In order to measure the precious stones, they used to use what is known as this wheat grain. The pound was derived from mina unit. Mina was the unit. From that mina unit, this pound, in order to weigh, in order to use the mass or weight, in order to measure the mass or weight, they used to use mina. Mina was used by ancient civilization. A smaller unit was shekel. In measuring mass, there is a small, just like gram now, they used to use shekel, and the larger unit was talent. See here, pound was normal unit. To measure the larger heavy quantities, they used to use talent, TALENT, and shekel was the smaller units. So if you imagine nowadays, that shekel will be around grams and this talent will be around some quintals, like that, ton or metric ton whatsoever. The magnitude of these units varied from place to place. I mean, in one place they used to have some quantity as shekel, and in other place the quantity was used to differ. Okay, that was on those days. Now we go for unit of time. The division of circle into 360 degrees. Actually, whole circle will have 360 degrees. Okay, from 0, again this is 90 and this is 180 and this is 270, and again coming to 0, that will be 360. So circle will have 360 degrees. Into 360 degrees, and the day into hours, minutes and seconds can be traced it to Babylonians, who had a hexadecimal system of number system. They used to use what is known as hexadecimal number system, those Babylonians. The 360 degrees may have been related to the year of 360 days. Actually, the year consists of 365 days. They used to use, I think, up to our knowledge, I mean the ancients, they have the historians, that is their assumptions, how this 360 degrees came. That may be due to days, 360 days, actually 365 days for the year. This 360 will be with respect to days only they have taken. That was their imaginations, our scientists' imaginations. Next one is SI unit of measurement. After all that, with different units, they came to one of the standard units, which is known as SI units, that is System International. Measurement is a process of finding the number that shows the size or quantity of something, which is usually given in terms of specific unit. So what is measurement? Measurement is a process of finding the number. Which number? That shows the size or quantity of something. That number will show you size or quantity of something. I mean the weight of a person, the mass of a person. Weight of a person will be around 50 kgs. Okay, 50 kgs, 50, that number will give you that particular size of something, which is usually given in terms of specific unit. The specific unit is kg, like that. We will discuss one by one in future. Knowing the measurement is vital to make sure that things will come out as planned. See, we can, if you know exact measurement, we can have some plans. Okay, see how I will give you few examples. Without the proper measurement, so chef, that is not chef, CHEF, it's a small mistake there. So right, without the proper measurement, chef won't know about the amount of ingredients needed in a dish. See, actually in a hotel or whatsoever, chefs, they used to use some ingredients in order to prepare some food. They will have regular quantity, how much sugar, how much salt should be added, how much turmeric should be added, how much vegetable should be added for a particular quantity. For that they need an accurate measurement. Without accurate measurement, chef cannot do a good food, tasty food. An engineer won't know how tall the structure will be or how much weight it can take. So, okay, you used to have plan in order to measure some structure, okay, in order to have some construction. So, for that he requires some measurement. And even it is difficult to cut the craft paper. It is difficult to cut the craft paper properly, whereas world at the large will face many problems. Without having the exact craft paper, we have to face large amount of problems. Right? Next, so to avoid this confusion, people came up with a standard way of measurement called metric system. So they used to have used different quantities of measurement in different regions, and they would have different names in different regions for the same quantity, so that there would have been lot of confusion. In order not to have confusion in measuring the quantities, this metric system has came, and it helped a lot for the people in order to measure the things. Right. Next one, unit and metric system. This metric system is also called as international system of units. Right. Length generally is measured in millimeter, centimeter, meter and kilometer. These are the things generally in order to measure very small things, small lengths, we use millimeters and centimeters, and to some extent meters will be used for long things. For very large things, quantities, we are going to use what is known as kilometer. And mass is going to be measured in milligram, gram and kilogram. Okay, so these are the things. Capacity to hold some liquid at whatsoever, milliliters, centiliters and liters. So likewise we are going to measure these quantities. But few countries like United States used the imperial system. We have used the SI system, that is system international, and they have used what is known as imperial system. These units are just quite different from that of our system. So the unit of length there will be inch, feet, yard and mile. We will discuss one by one what is inch, what is feet, what is yard. In our future classes we are going to learn everything, right? And mass, in order to measure mass they used to use the word ounce, pound, stone. Stone is one of the unit of to measure mass. And capacity they use pint and gallon. Okay, so these were the units which was these are the units used by US people, United States people, and we commonly use British system of units. Right, the next one is, let us look at them one by one. So we have discussed about the length, to measure the length, mass and time whatsoever, capacity. So we will discuss one by one. First we go for length. Length is one of the most common measurements. There are a lot of common measurements we have. This is one of the most common measurement. Whenever you measure the distance of a place, your height or how long something is on a piece of paper, you are measuring the length. All are measuring lengths only. Distance of a place from here to in one more particular place, what is the distance and what is your height and how long something is. So of course this pen, how long it is. Okay, so a piece of paper, how long the paper is, how width and how breadth and length. Okay, you are measuring the length. In the metric system, length is measured in centimeters, meters and kilometers. So this is how we are going to measure the length in case of metric system. And in the imperial system, the length is measured in inch, feet and miles. We already discussed this. Imperial system is that is US system, inch, feet and miles. So this is the thing. And the next one is weight or mass. See, up to your knowledge you consider both weight and mass are the same. Actually these two are not same. In our future classes we will know the actual difference between weight and mass. Still now you just consider mass and weight both are same. Just okay, for our convenience you just consider that. It is used to determine how heavy or how light an object is. How much heavy, how much mass, how heavy or how light an object is. That is what we call it as weight or mass. Example, when you step on a weighing machine to weigh yourself, your figure out that you have certain number of kilograms. If you stand on some weighing machine, it will show you your weight. Okay, it will show your weight around 30 kgs, 40 kgs, 50 kgs whatsoever. That depends upon your weight. According to the metric system or pound as per US standard. Pound, so like that, metric system or pound as per US standard. Alright. Capacity. It is used to measure how much the quantity of liquid in object can hold. An object, liquid an object can hold. A spoon can hold little quantity of liquid. Cup will hold some more quantity and this bottle will hold some more quantity and this can will hold more quantity. So that is their capacity. Okay, spoon will have less capacity, cup will have more capacity. So how much quantity it can hold, so it depends on it. In a metric system, it is measured in milliliters to measure very small quantity. Okay, there you are using millimeters to measure very small lengths. Here to measure very small quantity capacity, we are going to use milliliters. Generally your tonic syrups will be measured in milliliters. Quantity like the amount of tonic we need to gulp. We are going to take some tonic. If you get some whatsoever cough or cold whatsoever, you are going to have some little quantity of tonic. That is called gulp. They used to say gulp. Liter is to measure a large quantity of milk or similar products. While the folks, F-O-L-K-S, folks in the US prefer to measure their liquid with the units like cup, pint, quart and gallon. So these are the different system of units in case of US, United States. One is cup, one more is pint, one more is quart, one more is gallon. These were the different units they used to measure. Now we go for temperature. The next topic is temperature. So temperature, it is used to measure the hotness or coldness of a body. How hot, how much hot the body is, or how much cold a body is, that will determine what is known as temperature of that particular body. The Fahrenheit scale or degree Fahrenheit, generally capital F, capital letter F they used to use. F is used in the United States to measure the temperature. In United States, the temperature, in order to measure temperature, they used to use what is the unit? Fahrenheit. The Celsius or centigrade is used as metric system to measure the temperature in many parts of the world. Even we are going to use centigrade or Celsius. Actually, in our thermometer, we are going to use Fahrenheit, how much Fahrenheit it is. We will discuss one by one. Right. Next time, we are going to discuss in our 6th class in depth this temperature. Now it is enough. Right. Time. Time is an ongoing sequence of events determined worldwide with the basic unit of second. Okay. Ongoing sequence of events. I mean, next second what will happen, next what will happen, after some time what will happen. That sequence of events to determine worldwide with the basic unit is second, which is gradually increased. Second will be increased to minute, minute means 60 seconds, and hour will be day, day will be less, and week will be more than day, month will be more than a week, and finally year. Likewise, the gradual increase in time. These things we are going to learn in our future. The next topic is Gabriel Mount. It is the name of the scientist, and he is the person, right? Gabriel Mount. He was the French mathematician. He was the French mathematician, and he was the father of metric system. So this is very important, children. Who is the father of metric system? Gabriel Mount. Since 1960, the metric system is also called as International System of Units or System International, SI system will be called. So this metric system is once again called as System International or International System of Units. Right. Next topic is measurement of some physical quantities. We shall try to measure some physical quantities. In that, the first one is yard, Y-A-R-D, yard. If we stretch one hand to the left or right, you can stretch here, one hand to the left, okay, then or right, one hand, we have to stretch only one hand, we have to stretch either left hand or right hand, any one hand we can stretch. So if you stretch one hand, the distance from the nose to the tip of the middle finger is called yard. So what is yard? The distance from the nose to the tip of this, if you after stretching the tip of this middle finger, this distance we call it as yard. Next one is fathom, F-A-T-H-O-M. What is fathom? If you stretch two hands, that is from left to the left hand to the right, we have to stretch both the hands. Okay, if you stretch both the hands, the tip of left hand from the distance between the tip of left middle finger to the tip of right middle finger or right to left, you can say, you can take as you like. So that distance we call it as what is known as fathom. If you stretch two hands to left and right, the distance between the left hand middle finger to the right hand middle finger is called fathom. So this is the thing from here to there. So actually from this middle, from nose, half of the part is yard. Some other half is yard. So this is fathom is nothing but 2 yards. So 1 fathom is equal to 2 yards. However, the hands of the body parts differ from person to person. Here not it is okay. Hands of the body parts differ from person to person. Therefore, people realize that they need to have fixed quantity to measure things. If you measure like this, small kid will have very little hand stretched, and a large, huge, tall body person will have very huge, large hand, okay, from nose to hand. So that it will be differ. So from there they got an idea that they should have the same quantity, fixed quantity to measure the things. So the next topic is unit. The fixed quantity that is used as a standard measurement is called unit. So what is unit? Unit is the fixed quantity. Fixed quantity, it should be same anywhere you measure. Suppose 1 meter, if you consider 1 meter, the length of 1 meter will be, if you measure in India, it should be the same size, and if you measure in USA or you measure in Africa, you measure in different parts of the world, the length should be same. The fixed quantity that is used as a standard measurement is called unit. This is the thing. Next, length. Okay, length is the size or measurement of an object from its one end to other end. So length means, if you consider the length of this pen, what is that? It is the length is nothing but it is a measurement of an object, measurement of this particular object from its one end to other end. This measurement we call it as length. Example, meter scale, measuring tape. So this is meter scale. This is not actually meter. This is scale. Meter scale generally will have 0 to 100. It is only up to 5 here. 0 to 100 the scale will be. That is called meter scale, and this one we call it as measuring tape. Okay, so the standard unit of measuring length is meter. So what is the standard unit of measuring length? That is standard unit or SI unit we call it as, it is meter. You have to, it is not centimeter or it is not millimeter. Of course we are going to measure in centimeters, millimeters, okay, but the standard unit is meter. Millimeter and centimeter are the units to measure smaller length. In order to measure very small lengths, we are go for millimeters and centimeters. Piece of cloth, length of the square drawn in page. Okay, so such small quantities will be measured in millimeters and centimeters. Next one is kilometer. It is the larger unit. It is used to measure the longer lengths. LENGTHs. Longer lengths. Okay, longer lengths or distances. To measure very large distances from Bangalore to Hyderabad, we cannot measure in centimeters or we cannot measure in millimeters. So at that time we require a larger unit. That larger unit is called kilometer, which is written as km. Okay, and meter is written as m, centimeter is written as cm, small. Okay, and millimeter is abbreviated as mm. Right. Example, the distance between school and home. Okay, so if you know the distance between school and home, then you can decide via what is your whether you have to go by bicycle or by walk or by bus, we can decide. Okay, so for that we require distance. Next, distance between Bangalore to Hyderabad, for example, the units of length can be changed from one system to another system. A system of units, CGS, there will be different kinds of systems, CGS system, MKS system, right? FPS system, likewise we are having different kinds of systems. From one system to another system we can change the units. We will learn that in the further classes, right? Next topic is mass. Mass is measured in grams. How we are going to measure mass? Grams. In terms of grams, we are going to measure. Mass tells us how heavy or how light an object is. The mass will give you an idea of how heavy. If mass is more, if it is more kgs, the body is heavy. If it is in less kgs or if it is in grams, it says that it is lighter one. Okay, a beam balance or weighing balance. Balance is an instrument used to measure mass. In order to measure mass, we are going to use what is known as a beam balance. We are going to use beam balance. I mean, generally a vegetable vendor will have the beam balance, right? So that is one. Weighing balance is an instrument used to measure mass. The standard unit used to measure mass is 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram. Milligram are used to measure smaller mass. 1 kilogram, kg is used to measure as a standard unit, and milligrams are going to use it to measure smaller quantities, smaller masses. The kg, that is kilogram, is used to measure larger masses like big bag of potatoes, mass of a person, etc. Likewise, in order to measure the huge quantities, larger quantities, bigger quantities, we are going to go for what is known as kilograms. The unit of mass can be changed from one system to another system. For example, 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligrams. Similarly, 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. Okay, you should remember that, children. In your bits or small short answer questions, MCQs, they used to ask such kind of things. Next topic is measurement of time. What is the next one? Measurement of time. The period between two events is called time. So what is time? The period between two events. Okay, two events will be happened. In between that two events we call it as time. For example, you after finishing off your tiffin, you will go to school. Going to school is 1 unit, eating tiffin is 1 more unit. The time gap between, the duration between those two will be called as a time. Whatever may be the event, between any two, if the event is very short, we measure in seconds. If the event is somewhat long, we measure in minutes. If the event is still long, we measure in hours, like that. It will be go on, right. A clock or watch is an instrument used to measure time. In order to measure time, what we are going to use? A clock or watch. Some of the units used to measure time is second, minute and hour. So these are the 3 units we are going to use. Okay, used to measure time. Second, minute and hour. The unit of time can be changed from one system to another system. That is, 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute and 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. Alright. Measurement of temperature. The temperature is a measure of how hot or how cold an object is. Okay. If you touch an object, how hot it is, we just feel. If you touch with our hand, oh, it is hot. If it is too hot, we will remove the hand. If it is too cold also, we will remove the hand. Okay. But we cannot say the number. In order to give a quantity for that hotness or coldness, we require an unit. You require a measurement, what we call it as temperature. It is measured using an instrument called thermometer. How you are going to measure temperature? You are going to measure the thermometer by using, you are going to measure temperature by using thermometer. The units used to measure the temperature are degree Celsius, Fahrenheit and degree Celsius and Fahrenheit. Even Fahrenheit also we are going to use. Now it's quiz time. Okay, children, you just pause it and try to do yourself. Right? Come on. Okay, see now. Multiple choice questions. The first thing. First one is, which is the unit to measure length? Following they have given few units. What are those? Kilogram, gram. It is generally used to measure weight. So it is wrong. So it is wrong. Kilogram is wrong answer. Right. Next, liter. Will you measure length in liters? No. Will you measure length in meters? Yes. Second, wrong option. 1 kilometer is equal to how much? 1000 meters. Which unit is used to measure weight? Kilogram. 1 liter is equals to dash millimeters. 1000 milliliters. Dash milliliters. Sorry. 1 liter is equals to how many milliliters? 1000 milliliters. Which instrument is used to measure temperature? Thermometer. Thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure temperature. Next we go for fill in the blanks. The unit used to measure the liquid is. What is the unit? Liter. Liter is the unit used to measure the liquid. Next, 100 centimeters is equals to how many meters? 1 meter. We measure time in dash. In seconds or minutes or hours. HOURS. We measure in seconds or minutes or hours. Right. The unit used to measure very heavy objects. Huge heavy objects. In order to measure heavy object, the unit measured is kilogram. Kilogram is the unit used to measure the heavy unit. Alright. Next, a measuring tape is used to measure. For what sake we are going to use tape? Length. In order to measure length. Length we are going to use what is known as tape. And the next one is true or false. 1 kg, 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. Yes, it is true. A clock is used to measure length. In order to measure length, we use clock? No, it is false. So, what we are going to use in order to measure length? We are going to use a scale or tape whatsoever. Ruler. Okay, ruler we are going to call it as. Temperature is measured in degrees Celsius. Yes, it is absolutely true. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. Yes, true. A liter is used to measure weight. No, it is false. Liter is not going to be used to measure weights. It is false. And next we have word problems. This is the new topic to you. Okay, as you will they will give small sentences and you have to listen carefully the things and then we try to solve this. Okay, see now. Raju had a rope. Raju is having a rope. Okay, a small rope he is having that is 3 meters long. How many meters it is? 3 meters. 3 meters means 3000 centimeters. Because 1 meter is equals to 300 centimeters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. 3 meters is equal to 300 centimeters. We have to convert that. 300 centimeters. Okay, right. He cuts 1 meter in that. Okay, he is having 3 meters long length rope. He cut 1 meter in it. How much rope will be left? In 3 minus 1. 3 meters minus 1 meter will give you 2 meters. The 2 meters will be left. Okay, alright, very good. Next we go for second problem. A bottle contains 2 liters of water. Okay, one bottle is there. That bottle contains 2 liters of water. How many milliliters this is? Actually, 1000 milliliters is equals to 1 liter. A bottle contains here how much? 2 liters. 2 liters is equals to 2 into 1000 milliliters. Okay, 2 into 1000 will be equal to 2000 milliliters. So 2 liters of water which is equals to 2000 ml. Next one, a watermelon weighs 5 kgs. How many grams it is? Actually 1 kg is equals to 1000 grams. Okay, 1 kg is equals to 1000 grams. Then 5 kgs is equals to how much? 5 kg is equals to 5 into 1000, which is equals to 5000 grams. Okay children? Okay, got it? Right, very good. A movie starts at 3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. in the sense afternoon 3 o'clock. PM means after 12 p.m. after midday. After 12 o'clock PM will be started. Okay, from 12 o'clock up till night 12 o'clock. Night 12 o'clock it gets converted into AM. Night 12 to day 12. So night 12 AM we will call it as 12 AM to 12 AM means night 12. Okay, to 12 PM. 12 PM means day 12 o'clock. Day 12 o'clock is called 12 PM. Night 12 o'clock is called 12 AM. Remember that. Okay, we will discuss the time in detail in the further classes. Okay, no problem. We just see now. A movie starts at 3 p.m. and ends at 5 p.m. Okay, how long is the movie? It has started at 3 p.m. After 3, 1 hour is 4. 4 after 4, 1 hour is 5. So 5 p.m. minus 3 p.m. which is equal to 5 minus 3 is how much? 2 hours. This time gap is 2 hours. HOURS, hours. A pencil is 15 centimeter long and another pencil is 10 centimeter long. What is the total length? There are 2 pencils. Just a minute. Suppose you just consider to be these two are 2 pencils. One is 10 centimeters and one more is 15 centimeters. You just imagine. Okay. So then what he asked? What is the total length? Total length means you have to join this. This is 15 and this is 10. 15 plus 10. How much? 25 centimeters. So 15 plus 10 centimeters, which is equals to 25 centimeters. Likewise, you should try to solve this kind of problems. Okay, at the end children, moral of the day. What is today's moral? Little step every day leads to success. See children, from now onwards you have entered to 5th class now. You should have the responsibility. Alright, 3rd standard, 4th standard will be the kids. Now we came to 5th standard. Slowly you should have a learning habit daily. You should learn for a little time. Okay, daily it gives you a good knowledge. And so that I'll tell you a small example for this. See, you have to eat food, right? If you have a tasty food, if you eat for tonight around 2 plates or 3 plates, can you digest? No. Though you eat stomach full of food, tomorrow morning won't you get hungry? Of course you may not get for the morning. At least afternoon you have to eat, or next day night you have to eat. Likewise, studying also, చదవడానికి కూడా ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజు కొంచెం చదువుకుంటూ పోతే ఎగ్జామ్ కోసం చదవకండి. టెస్టులు ఉన్నాయంటే మాత్రమే బుక్ ముట్టాల్సింది కాదు. యూ షుడ్ లవ్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్. ఓకే, యూ షుడ్ లిజన్. వెన్ యూ లవ్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్, when you understand the subject clearly, then you will love the subject. When you will understand the subject clearly, when you listen carefully. So children, for the sake of you, I am making lot of videos from 3rd standard till 10th standard, physics and chemistry, in-depth classes. And from the next class, 6th class, I am going to start IIT Foundation course. Please, all of you children, you should listen to your mother and father words and try to study daily. Okay, you should have a habit of learning daily, at least 1 or 2 hours each and every day. Okay, after schooling or early in the morning, try to wake up in the morning. It's a very good habit. If you want to be healthy, you should wake up in early in the morning and try to sleep early at nights. It will give you a good healthy sleep. Okay, if you sleep at around 9, 10, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock watching Instagram, Facebook, etc., so you won't get sleep and your eyes becomes weak. Actually try to play in the evening for an hour. Go outside, don't play with mobile. Try to play in the ground so that it will be exercise to you. Okay, you along with your friends, you try to go, yeah, you play any of the game like cricket, football, volleyball, whatsoever. You try to spend, at least you run. Okay, you just touch your friend like that. You do some activity in the ground, not in the mobile. If you do work there, you should get some sort of sweat so that you come and eat and you will get early sleep. You try to sleep around 9 o'clock. Okay, early 9 or 9 o'clock. Early in the morning 5 o'clock you should wake up. You should wash your face, mouth, etc. Drink 2 glasses of water and try to sit in a calm place and try to read for some time. Daily you should have a habit in order to achieve success. This is the thing. Little steps you have to do. Step by step, step by step, step by step. One day, all of a sudden we cannot achieve a huge things. Okay? Bye. We shall meet in the next class. Bye children.